இதில் எங்க இருக்கா இதோட ரீஃபில்
No, koncham behind. Okay. Very good, very good. Okay. Fine.
Namaste, Professor.
Namaste.
How are you?
Am I visible?
Yes, you are visible
Fine,
and audible.
wonderful, excellent.
It is great to see you.
Baba. Good, good. Thank you.
It's great to see you. It is a
Very
blessing
good.
for all of us.
God bless you, sir. Fine, wonderful.
Shall we
May
go
I know
live?
how many people are listening today?
They will join because we at the moment
Today?
over while streaming they will join. I will give you the report on that.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So it's a wonderful morning, Professor. We are going live now. I welcome you
Very good.
to the webinar of Gandhigram Rural Institute deemed to be university. On behalf of the Chancellor, Dr. K.M. Annamalai, our Vice Chancellor in charge, Sri B. Subraj, Dr. Subraj, Dr. V.P.R. Shivakumar, our Registrar, and on behalf of the staff, students, and alumni, I need volume of books to introduce you. So I'll just go for a short introduction. Professor K. Subrahmanyam has done his master's in English in 1965, and in 1965 he did his master's in philosophy. In 1980, Professor Subrahmanyam has done his PhD from MK University, Madurai Kamaraj University. Professor Subrahmanyam has a lot to say about him, but let me give a crisp introduction. Uh, Professor Subrahmanyam is a retired principal of National Defence Academy, Khankabalsa, Pune. He has headed Vivekananda College, Solavandan of Madurai. His doctoral work, he has specialized in Swami Vivekananda and his teachings. He has also have several books written to his credit. His life and character rooted in Indian values and ethos, and he has inspired hundreds of young men, including me, and women sitting by example to them. His untiring efforts and vibrant vision transformed the Vivekananda College at Madurai to a very reputed institute in itself. I welcome you, Professor. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
The topic today, Professor.
Yes, tell me.
The topic today is home learning, paradigm shift from formal education and the way forward. So we are really willing, very eagerly waiting for listening to you. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, okay, sir. Vande Shambhumapatim Suragurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pannagabhushanam Sesidaram Vande Pasunam Patim Vande Surya Shashanka Vanninayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Bhaktajana Ashrayam Chavaradam Vande Shivam Shankaram. Esteemed friends, I am very, very glad to talk to you for the second time. On the 19th, I was asked to speak, and I spoke for about an hour. And then Professor has asked me to speak again on Vinayak Chaturthi day. I said today is Vinayak Chaturthi, people may be busy worshipping Vinayaka. Who would be listening to us? Let it be postponed, I said, and the professor was kind enough to postpone it to today. Today is the 25th, and the topic allotted is the great home learning. I am an admirer of Mahatma Gandhi, rather devotee of Mahatma Gandhi. Equally, I am devoted to Swami Vivekananda. I am of the strong opinion, if great men are made in this country or in the world, it was not in any formal institute of education. It was at home. George Bernard Shaw said, if at all I learnt anything, it is not in either the school or college or university. It is outside the school, college, or university. If Swami Vivekananda has become a great giant of spiritual splendor, it's not because of his school, college, or other type of education. It is the education given to him by his mother, Bhuvaneshwari Devi. If Mahatma Gandhi has become a man of character, a man of discipline, a man of patriotism, a man of purity, it's all because of his mother's training. I strongly believe we are drifting away from home learning to institutional learning. And so, the long felt need for home learning mixed with the modern learning is the concept of rural university. Gandhi Gram Rural University serves two purposes. Number one, it is to serve the needs of a home for giving the right instruction to the aspirants. The second is it also gives the modern Western technical education. It's a combination of the East and the West. It's a combination of the rural and the urban. It's a combination of the spiritual and the scientific. It's a combination of the ancient and the modern. Therefore, the very concept of Gandhigram Rural University is to be properly perceived and meticulously implemented. I am very, very happy. I have visited that university many times, and I am very much happy to note the simple living and high thinking practiced in that university. There is nothing lacking in that. Everything is profoundly built, excellently elaborated. Everything is very well imbibed by the student community. It is the need of the hour. Now, we have the great patriots born in this country. There are lovers of this country. They are the sons and the soil. Whenever these great patriots speak the glory of this country, they use certain terminology. Bharata Bhumi is Divya Bhumi, Deva Bhumi, Karma Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, Yoga Bhumi, etc. When such words are used, such epithets are used, when such wonderful phrases are used, we should not be simply listening to them. We should be in a position to stop them and ask them, why do you call it Punya Bhumi? In what way Bharata Bhumi is a land of Punya? It is a in that long list of epithets and phrases is Yoga Bhumi, Bharata Bhumi. What do you mean by Yoga Bhumi? Yoga, according to Bhagavad Gita, has one definition, and that wonderful definition is Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam. Karma is action, Kaushalam is skill, dexterity, ease, with full confidence, If an action is performed, it is Kaushalam. For example, MS Subbulakshmi sings. Singing is an activity. While singing, she does not feel the strain of singing. While delivering a lecture, we should not feel the strain of talking. While doing any particular activity, if we feel the strain of it, it is not yoga. Also, we must perform it as a worship. Work is worship. With Shraddha, we perform it. With love, we perform it. With ease, we perform it. With skill, we perform it. With dexterity, we perform it. All these words are included in Kaushalam. How do you get this Kaushalam? How do you get this skillfulness? How do you get this ease while performing the activity? Is it taught in any college? Is it taught in any university?
Not at
Did
all.
MS Subbulakshmi go to a particular college or university to learn the skill of singing? Never. We find the talent is hidden in us. Any educational system has three duties to perform. The first duty to be performed by the educational system is identify the talent in the aspirant. The system should identify. If the educational system fails to identify it, it is the parent who has to identify it. And the identified talent is to be trained to its perfection at home with love, with affection. And then the trained talent, the perfected talent, is to be given a righteous direction for the welfare of humanity. There are three dimensions. Number one is the child's talent is to be identified by whom? By the mother, by father. And if these two people are unable to identify, then the teacher. This identification, spotting out the talent, is to be done by the house or home. There is a difference between house and home. House is a place of residence. Home is a place where you have love, attachment, longing, belonging. And it is there we develop, we grow, and that is home. Children grow at home. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was first invited to a beautiful orphanage with all the facilities. He went round the orphanage, observed all the comforts provided to the children, all the educational facilities, all the living comforts. After carefully scrutinizing the entire functioning of the orphanage, he was asked to give his opinion. In the visitor's book, he wrote, everything is excellent, everything is wonderful, all the facilities and comforts are provided, except, and people were shocked, except what? Mother's love.
That's there.
It is the mother's love that compensates everything. That mother's love, if it is present, it is home. And that home will identify the talent in the child. It will spot out. And then begins the home learning. When our parents have failed to identify that, the institutions have come to compensate it. In the ancient period, Rama's ability was identified by Kausalya, Dasharatha, and for the training purposes, mother like Vishwamitra came. How do you call him mother like? Because your great sentence, Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate, Uttishta Narashardula Kartavyam Daivamanigam. It is the teacher who wakes up before. He, with all love and affection, he wakes up the student. The student there is like a child. In the house, in the home, it is the mother who wakes up the baby. It is the mother who feeds the baby. It is the mother who trains the baby. A teacher or an institution is to be like the mother. And I find Gandhigram Rural University playing the role of a mother. This Vishwamitra has identified the talent in Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. The educational system is personified in Vishwamitra. He has gone to Ayodhya and requested the biological parents, please give your son. I have identified the talent in him. I shall train that talent to its perfection in my home. And that home is Gurukul. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu was taken, admitted into the Gurukul, mobile Gurukul of Vishwamitra. For full 14 days, he took him under his tutelage. And then he took him to Mithila for performing his marriage. All these duties are those of the mother. Vishwamitra was mother-like, rather mother himself, therefore home learning. This has three dimensions. One, he identified the talent in Ram, trained the talent to its perfection, and the perfected talent of Ram in Vilividya or archery is given a righteous direction for the welfare of mankind. And that welfare is Dushta Shikshana, Sister Rakshana. Tataki was removed. The righteous direction was given. Unfortunately, over the years, we have lost that ancient ideal home learning, Gurukul type of learning, and then we have entered into professional training. Earlier, education was never sold, educators were never paid any salaries. It was only the facility that was provided to the professors. Later in Mahabharata, you find that identification of the talent missing, spotting out the talent missing. Dronacharya was at another vice chancellor, the representative of the educational system. He was appointed by the management of Bhishma, Hastinapur, to educate only the 105 children of the Kuru family, 100 Kauravas and 5 Pandavas. Then Dronacharya requested, how about my son, sir, I give you exception, you may take him. And when Ekalavya approached Dronacharya for admission, he denied. Merit was not recognized. His talent was not identified by anybody. Having failed in getting the admission, Ekalavya went to his forest house under the guidance of Dronacharya in the form of an image. He practiced Vilividya, attained perfection. Now, Arjun went once for a hunting expedition. Along with him was a hunting dog which strayed into the precincts of Ekalavya. It started barking. Listening to the sound, Ekalavya got a little disturbed. He took 7 arrows, sent them, released them, and the dog's mouth was stuffed. It was not wounded. The stuffed mouth was seen by Arjun. He was surprised. Went to Ekalavya, asked him, Sir, Where are you studying? You have such expertise in Vilividya. Who is your professor? Where did you learn this? It is home learning. My inspiration is this particular professor whose image I have, and I sit in my home and I learn from him. Dronacharya is your professor, yes, but I do not find you in our university campus. I do not find you in the hostel. I do not find you in the playground. And Ekalavya said, Sir, I am a student of the distance education, correspondence course. Is it home learning? We send notes, very often the old notes with full of blunders, and we don't bother about the recipient. He does not study, and we conduct the examinations. The teacher and the student never look at each other. Ekalavya got the inspiration, studied it for himself, made a home learning swadhyaya self study. He perfected himself, but the credit was given to his beloved professor. Arjun went, made a complaint to Bhishma, the correspondent, and Bhishma called Dronacharya, the vice chancellor. Sir, it seems you are training somebody outside the university campus. Don't you know that tuition is a prostitution in education? Then, no, sir, it's beyond my purview. Then Dronacharya was taken to the forest by Arjun himself. He looked at Ekalavya. Are you my student? Yes, sir. Then have you paid the migration fee? Have you paid the tuition fee, special fee? And have you paid the capitation fee? Have you paid the examination fee? Have you paid the convocation fee? All the fee put together with penalty. Give me your thumb. He never taught. He never directly inspired him or taught him. He was indirectly a source of inspiration, but he wanted the fruit of it, demanded it, and the good student gave. Rama's education was useful to himself, to his parents, to the students, to whole world. But Ekalavya's education was useless. Now, do you have the home learning which is useful? Traditional home learning which is useful to everybody? We have buried fathoms deep, and to revive that, Gandhiji's view is rural education, wherein vocational training becomes the professional training. There is a lot of difference between vocation and profession. Vocation is a combination of liking and the training. Suppose a student has love for painting. If that painting is made his profession, then it is vocational. I love painting, but I am asked to do English literature. There's a clash. What I love is called pravrutti. What I do is called profession, vrutti. When pravrutti and vrutti are one and the same, it is right education. In rural education of Gandhigram, we find the aptitude established, found out, and the appropriate training. That's what Vishwamitra did. That's what was not done by Drona. It was only self study. And education reached its worst state, wherein merit was ignored, merit was not recognized, the talent was not identified. On the other hand, it was rejected. A boy of Karna, so age, he went to Drona, made an application, online application, name, family, date of birth, caste, everything he filled. Within 2 minutes, the result came. Application rejected. Reason? he does not belong to the community college. It is Naidu College, it is Devar College, it is Ayyar College, it is Chettiar College, it is Hastinapur Kuru's College, and therefore he was not granted admission. He went to Parshuram. He made the application. There, his application was rejected because he was not a Brahmin. Parshuram started a Brahmin institution. The merit was confined to a particular category, caste-ridden institutions. And when his application was rejected in the office of the institution, one clerk looked at him. My dear young man, you seem to be very young, about 15, 16 years. You have come to make your application and you are going back without getting admission. What's the reason? Karna told, Sir, I made the application, no doubt, but sir, it was rejected because my caste was not Brahmin. You seem to be a very innocent man. Don't worry. Go to your village. Get a certificate from the village administrative officer that you belong to the Brahmin community. And go to the Tahsildar. Give him some money. Get it ratified. Go to the sub-collector. Give him some money. Get it ratified. Finally, when you come out of the false caste certificate, go to the peon there. He will give the rubber stamp, pay him also. He did the same, got to the admission, and when the admission was completed, the course was completed, one day Parshuram sat, asked Karna to give him some place for rest, and Karna's lap was used as the tie of as the pillow for Parshuram's head. Then an insect came, it started biting, blood was oozing. Parshuram woke up. Man, tell me, are you really a Brahmana? If it is a Brahmana, you will not have such perseverance. He told the truth. Then Parshuram cursed. You have told a lie. Therefore, your certificate is withdrawn. What you have gained from this university, it will not come to your rescue. You will not remember the subject. On the battlefield, you forget. What happened in the whole thing? Karna's talent was not identified. It was not trained with home background, without love. And all this because of one mistake. Defective educational system breeds corruption. You can make cosmetic changes. If you want corrupt-free country, if you want India of integrity, first and foremost is home learning to be revived, in which identification of the talent, training of the talent, direction to the perfected talent for the welfare of mankind. It's only in the case of Sri Ram all the three are fulfilled. Not in the case of Ekalavya, where the education is useless. Full many a gem of purest racer in the dark unfathomed caves of ocean bare. Full many a flower is born to blush unseen on the desert air. How many talented people are rotting in the country? Is there real talent hunt in this country? At the time of entry into the educational institutions, there is no talent hunting. Even at the time of recruitment, there is no talent hunting. Even at the time of finalizing the appointments and respecting the people, honoring the people, there is no talent hunting. Our intelligence department, I am sorry, what it is functioning. In the case of Yakalavya, it is useless education. How many educated people are useless in the society? How many talented people are useless in the society? how many merited people are useless in this society, in every walk of life, in every field of study. Helen Keller was blind. In the Supreme Court regarding Ram Janmabhoomi from the wonderful Rigveda. At the age of 2 months, he became blind. He knows all the Vedas, the epics by heart, and all the wonderful things by heart. And is there any publicity for him? Is he known in our country? Is there anybody to recognize his talent? No place. All swadhyaya he made. Self study he made. He made himself high. And who taught him? His father, his mother, his grandfather. Home learning. That home learning has gone to dogs in this country. In the case of Karna, he got the degree which was useless to him. He had developed a revengeful attitude towards their achievements. And when Arjuna showed some of his wonderful feats, Karna said, I can also do them. Then he was snubbed by the custodians of society. What's your father? What's your mother? Do you belong to the royal family? When he was unable to give the reply the way they wanted, he was snubbed and thrown out. This predicament of Karna was seen by the politician Duryodhana. Immediately he brought a crown, placed it on the head of Karna, made him Angarajyadhipati. Karna is our man, Kunti Devi's son. The so-called low caste people are also the children of Mother Bharat. We have disowned them. We have kept them at a distance. Kunti's son was disowned by the mother, by the brothers. He was kept at a distance. Touch me not, untouchables. Thanks to Mahatma Gandhi, these untouchables are given the social status today. They are our brothers. Duryodhana, the cheap politician, brought the crown, placed it on the head of Karna, and he used him for destroying the society. The Britisher came, the so-called untouchables were taken to his side. There was a division in the society, and our own brothers have become our own enemies today. Sri Ram's homely education is useful to all people at all times, at all levels. Ekalavya's education is useless to everybody because his thumb was removed. Karna's education worked adversely. We find useful education, useless education, and dangerous education. There is yet another type of education, that is nuisance education. Who is the person of nuisance education? Kauravas are 100. They have only one sister by name Dushala. She was married to a boy called Jayadratha. And this fellow is like our modern student. Go to Chennai, go to Mumbai, go to Delhi. If you read the newspapers of Delhi, at least 10 to 15 crimes, including rapes. Or who are they? Studying in the universities. Is there any home education? This Jayadratha was disowned. What did he do? He went to the forest. When Pandavas with Draupadi were there in the forest, when Pandavas were not at home, this Jayadratha went to Draupadi to molest her, to misuse her modesty. And she shouted, Bhima. Bhima came, taught him a lesson. This Jayadratha is the representative of the modern student community. Safe in traveling by city buses, by the trains, are there no eve teasings? This is the nuisance education. A boy trained in the house, home training will it create such a student. When you have privacy in the public, when you have secrecy in society, when your identity is unknown to anybody, students do misbehave. In the home learning, your identity is close with the parents, the moral uprightness. Therefore, home learning is always the best. How did Swami Vivekananda learn Srimad Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita? Did any college teach him? Did any university teach him? Was it not taught by his mother Bhuvaneshwari Devi? Best. When that home learning is missing, we create artificial home learning. For example, in Coimbatore, today we have a home science university without a home. In the home, mother was teaching the daughter how to prepare good food, healthy food, hygienic food, nutritious food, delicious food. When there is no mother to teach at home, when the mothers are busy themselves to go out and earn the livelihood, when the home is dark, when there is no instruction, home science has become a necessity. I have studied their syllabus: BSc Home Science, MSc Home Science, MPhil, PhD. First and foremost, how to maintain the home clean and tidy, how to be healthy and hygienic, how to provide nutritious food. If the income is per month only 15, 20,000 rupees, how do you keep the house decent and beautiful? When the child has cough and cold, what are the medicinal foods you have to provide? What is the initial educational background that you have to provide to the babies? All these things were done by the parents once upon a time. And that is missing very much in our society. Therefore, there is a home science university only to remind us of the need for home learning. The importance of home learning was felt when there are no homes, when there is no affection, when there is no training, when there is no spotting out the talent, when there is no orientation or training. Then it was to be done artificially. That's what they did. In Madurai Vivekananda College, I tried to provide that home to my students. When the children are admitted, they say, "We find a parent in you, sir. We find the mothers to our children in your college, sir. We want that affection to be showered. Mother's affection and father's discipline are available in my university. Therefore, people are longing for the admission there." And that was to be revived and is being revived in Gandhi Gram Rural University. When the skills are not provided by the parents in the home learning, artificial home learning is provided in an institution like Home Science University. When I was a student in the school, even at home, I was doing all type of work, cleaning the floor, washing the toilets. All that work was done. Now we have missed it. Therefore, the government of India came out with the wonderful scheme, National Service Scheme. We are not doing any work at home. We are not sweeping the floor. We are not washing the toilets. We are not taking our own leaves after eating or the plates cleaning. Therefore, it has to be taught in a different way. The government of India came. I was a student of Gandhian philosophy. I find something very strange, very effective in Gandhian philosophy. You do the work yourself. What you can do for yourself, don't ask somebody to do it. I am reminded of Srimad Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, Rajasuyajna was performed by Yudhishthir. Narada Maharshi came, Sri Krishna came, Khandavavana, the allotted place to Pandavas, was changed into, rebuilt into Indraprastha Mahanagara. The great architect was Maya. Within a few months, the deserted land was transformed into a decent city, Indraprastha Mahanagara. Narada suggested, I will change it. And then we find Krishna, all the people seated. Yudhishthir said, Rajasyaga is to be performed, great function is to be arranged. Our brothers are also to be invited. Kauravas are 100, Pandavas are 5, 105 plus Krishna 106. The president of the planning team was Yudhishthir. He worked out all the duties to be performed, decentralization, distribution of work. Then the first duty is kitchen, food preparation. Bhima stood and said, I will prepare the best food. I shall be in charge of the kitchens at home. Food I will provide. Tick mark was made in the list. Then Arjuna stood up and said, I shall take the responsibility of providing accommodation to all the guests. Duryodhana stood and said, when the people come, they don't come empty handed. They will bring gifts. They will bring money. Money will be deposited in the bank and the gifts will be taken to the godown. I will maintain a register of all the givers. Nakula said, I will take care of all the chariots, horses, and the drivers. Sahadeva said, I shall take care of their bed coffee and night requirements. Like that, all the duties were distributed. Then Yudhishthira said, our country is known for its wonderful culture, Samskruti. Atidhi Devo Bhava, guest is God. This is what we are taught at home. There were no lodging houses once upon a time. In my village, if anybody came home, I was going, receiving his luggage, bringing him to the house, providing the accommodation and giving the food. Everything was done by me as a boy. Where are the lodging houses? No, it was only the house, which was like a home to every visitor, Atidhi Devo Bhava. Now, Yudhishthir said, when the guests come, somebody should go ahead, open the door of the car, Radha, and then he will keep the feet outside. You take the plate, wash the feet, spread the red carpet, bring him to the place of accommodation, show him the room, take care of him. Who will do this duty of Atidhi Maryada? Home learning. Mother should teach. Father should teach. Home learning is hospitality. Hospitality is taught in the home. Then Bhima said, no, I will not do it. Arjun said, Arjuna Phalguna Partha Kiriti Bhivatsa Dhananjaya Sabyasachi MSc PhD DSc DLit. I am a holder of so many degrees. No, I won't do it. I can't do it. And then Duryodhana said, I feel shy sometimes to greet my own father. Reluctantly I do it. Then Krishna said, I shall do that duty. That is ideal education. Krishna had the home education. And these people, though they were not because of certain false influences, egoism. What I am trying to drive home here is our Samskruti is home learning, Matrudevo Bhava. Our Samskruti is home learning, Pitrudevo Bhava. Our Samskruti is home learning, Acharya Devo Bhava. Our Samskruti is home learning, Atidhi Devo Bhava. And our Samskruti is patriotic fervor, Desha Bhakti. Our Samskruti is Daiva Bhakti. If you take all the things, all are there, instilled in the children by the parents. Now, Krishna says, I shall do that work. 10,000s of people might have come to witness Rajasyaga. And it was Sri Krishna who welcomed all, who received all, who showered hospitality and everybody. Atidhi Devo Bhava. And then Bhima was asked by Yudhishthir to demonstrate how he would serve the food. He said, I will have all types of food, Western, Eastern, North Indian, South Indian, etc., and all that. And then I shall have the food beautifully served. I shall stand with my mace on my shoulder. My dear guests, eat well, sumptuously eat. If anybody leaves anything in the leaf, I shall break your head. Be very, very sumptuously eating. Then Yudhishthira said, my boy, you confine yourself only to the kitchen. This is not the way to serve. Serving requires homely training. How does your mother serve? Does she beat you? With what an affection she serves. I remember Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's spouse, Holy Mother Sri Sharada Devi. Sharada Devi is the ideal mother. One day, a man was going in the street, a Muslim poor person. He came. Amma asked him to eat. He was provided the seat. He sat, and somebody in the home started serving that Muslim guest, poor person. And without touching the man, without the close proximity to the leaf, she was dropping the food from above. Sharada Devi looked at that person. No, this is not the way how you serve food. She sat by the side of that poor Muslim man. She herself took the vessels, placed them by her side with all affection. She served the food herself, and she had a fan and she fanned the guest. He was not her son, but she showed the love to be shown by a mother to the son. And this is home learning. We don't have home learning now. Mothers are away in the restaurants eating. Fathers are away in the offices eating. Children are in the colleges and universities eating from the hostels or the boxes. Where is home learning? And this home learning is being revived indirectly by the institutions like Gandhi Gram Rural University. Finally, we find there is another skill, home learning, and that skill is called soft skills. We have in the Avinashalingam Home Science College home skills, and then the usual skills in every walk of life, field of study. We have the soft skills and institution. What does that soft skill mean? Reception. With a smile you receive, with affection you receive, you shower. And Bhima was asked, my man, after the people eat, how do you get the house cleaned? He said, I shall employ servants. You may have their help, but you should do that duty also. Sri Krishna said he would do it. He received everybody, he served everybody, he cleaned the dining halls. Of course, he had his followers, assistants, but the main person was that this home learning. On the last day, Atidhi Puja was to be performed. The chief guest is to be honored. Sri Krishna was chosen to be the chief guest, and Sisupala stood. He objected to the chief Maryada being given to Krishna. Then Dharmaraj tells, he who loves all deserves to be loved by all. He who serves all deserves to be served by all. Who will teach this? Mother loves all in the house. Therefore, she deserves to be loved by all. Mother serves all in the house. Therefore, she deserves to be served by all. That is home learning. If today India has the global reputation, it is because of our yoga. And yoga is nothing but kaushalam, skill. And that kaushalam is nothing but showering hospitality. And that hospitality is nothing but home learning. You take any stalwart person in this country, Swami Vivekananda had the training at home. He was taught Ramayana by the mother, Mahabharata by the mother, and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa by the parent. You find everywhere home learning is most effective. When we are unable to provide that home learning, we have to create institutions wherein home learning is revived. And that great work is being done by Mahatma Gandhi's institutions in rural institutions. If we are to go by the urban institutions, a day may come the natural talents will totally become extinct. India lives in rural areas. Our culture is in the villages. Our Samskruti is fostered by the villagers, and we cannot afford to throttle them, suffocate them, smother them. As many rural institutions as possible must be established in India. Similar to Gandhi Gram Rural University, there should be several universities wherein our culture is revived, our patriotism is revived, our yoga is revived, our skills are revived, our hospitality is revived, where the teacher and the student live together like a parent and the child. I asked once Swami Chidbhavanandaji Maharaj, Swamiji, you are running a beautiful college with the ancient Gurukul pattern, wherein love is paramount. Why don't you start some more? Why don't you expand this? No, I have done it as a model. It is left to the philanthropists and the government of India to spread such institutions out. Our students will be the great scientists. They will be excellent technocrats. Our Vedic wisdom will be revived. We have neglected our rural areas. We have neglected our home learning. And we are trying to ape the West, as somebody has put it beautifully. Perhaps when the Britisher was present here, we were not such slaves of the British as we are now after he left the country. Macaulay came, everybody is aware, and he has introduced such a system wherein Indianism, Bharatiyata is buried fathoms deep. What did he do? He introduced not only English language, English way of living. Brown in body and in brain Western. That's what he said. When the then stalwart Indian patriots requested Macaulay, Sir, if you want, you teach English language, we have no objection. There are wonderful English books written by Indians. Why do you bring the Westerners? British habits. Why don't you simultaneously teach Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, etc.? Why don't you revive Sanskrit? And the reply given by Macaulay was wonderful. My dear friends, as soon as I came to India, I studied your Ramayana. In that Ramayana, Dasharatha Maharaj gave two boons to Kaikeyi. By the first boon, she asked Dasharatha to make the Pattabhisheka, shower the Pattabhisheka on Bharata. Second boon, Ram should go to the forest for full 14 years. Then Dasharatha says, Amma, if you want, get Bharata crowned, I have no objection. But why should Rama go to the forest? Can't he live in the palace? Can't he live in Ayodhya? Why should he be thrown away for full 14 years? Then Kaikeyi said, my dear Lord, my dear husband, if Rama is present in Ayodhya, who will respect Bharata? His greatness will eclipse Bharata. Therefore, Rama should not be present. Macaulay said the same thing. If I am to teach only English language and not English habits, if I allow Sanskrit to be taught and your Indian culture to be revived, who will respect me? Who will respect our traditions? Therefore, I do not allow Indian Samskriti to flourish. The chief among the languages and we are now facing the consequences. Thanks to the present government, they are trying to revive step by step our rural culture, our home culture, our educational background, everything is being revived. And chief among them, the pioneering efforts are made by Gandhi Gram Rural University. Everything is very simple there, very homely there, heart to heart. Everybody has access to the teachers. Teachers are showering parental love on the students. I visited that university many times and I am an admirer of that university. I appeal to the government of India to see to it that every district in the entire country be blessed with a rural institute of family homely training. This will do a long way. The national educational policy will be wonderful if it is in true spirit implemented with the home training. I am very, very happy. I am very, very glad I am associated with Gandhiji, with Swami Vivekananda, and with the rural university. I am given now a second opportunity to address you all. Thank you very much. I have at another meeting at 1 o'clock. Therefore, I once again reiterate, I thank you very much for the wonderful opportunity you have given me to explain the benefits of home learning, mother's love, father's discipline. Everything is Indian culture. May we revive it. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you, Professor. I am spellbound. I am
Good. Thank you.
spellbound. Not only me, everyone. Thank
Good,
you
sir.
for giving us this opportunity, Professor. We are really, really blessed. With due respect, thank you so much. And please, I request you, we will call you again and again and again and again.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank
much.
you. God
I
bless.
formally
Okay.
close. I formally close with Professor Subrahmanyam. Had a very wonderful had given a very wonderful lecture on home learning, paradigm shift from formal education, and the way forward. The comparisons were so nice, Professor. We are spellbound. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Okay. 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 God bless you. Close.